Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Everyone, welcome back to Dana's Road. Do you guys remember how in my other video I said not to worry because soon inshallah I'll be doing the story of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, aka Noah? Well, today is the day that you have been waiting for. Today we're going to discover the incredible story of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, also known as Noah. The story of Noah may have taken place in the ancient Mesopotamian region. Nowadays, it's in the areas of Iraq, Turkey, and possibly parts of Syria and Iran. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam was a great messenger with deep faith and patience. Let's see how he tried to help his people who forgot about being good and kind. Can you imagine that? It's like forgetting all the important lessons we learned from our parents and teachers. So they stole, hid, lied, and more. Could you imagine what other things they were doing? Long ago, there was a community where people had forgotten the teachings of earlier prophets. They started worshipping idols. These idols even had names. Have you heard their names? They were named Wed, Suwa, Yahud, Ya'uk, and Nasr. These idols were once righteous people, but over time people began to worship their statues instead of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wow, can you imagine worshipping statues instead of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's like if we started worshipping our toys. Pretty silly, right? Prophet Nuh alayhi salam didn't give up. He preached to his people for 950 years, telling them to worship only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and warning them about the tremendous punishment if they didn't listen. Can you even count that many years? That's almost 1,000 years. Despite his efforts, only a few people believed in him. The rest of the people continued to not listen. They mocked him, rejected him, and thought he was just a regular man. Wow, 950 years, that's longer than any of us will ever live. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam must have been super patient. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam faced so much hardship. His people not only rejected him, but also hurt and insulted him. Even his wife and son didn't believe in him and sided with the disbelievers, which made Prophet Nuh alayhi salam very sad. But Prophet Nuh alayhi salam stayed strong because he knew Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was on his side and kept going with his mission. You know, sometimes even the people we love don't understand us. But Prophet Nuh alayhi salam never gave up. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam didn't ask for any rewards or riches. He just wanted to guide them to the right path. He knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him special knowledge and mercy, even if the others couldn't see it. But his people said, Noah, we just see you as an ordinary man like us, and we noticed that only the poorest and least important people are following you. And we don't see anything special about you. And we think you're just making things up. But Prophet Nuh alayhi salam didn't give up. He responded with so much wisdom and patience. He said, "Oh my people, have you thought about this? What if I have clear proof from my Lord, and He has given me mercy, but it's hidden from your eyes? Should we force it upon you when you are unwilling to accept it?" Noah was trying to make them understand that sometimes the truth is there even if we can't see it right away. It's all about keeping our hearts open to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Isn't that an amazing lesson of patience and faith? Noah alayhi salam speaks to his people again. He says, "Oh my people, I'm not asking you for any money in return for my message. My reward is only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm not going to turn away those who have believed, because they are going to meet their Lord. But I see that you are acting ignorantly. Isn't that so kind and selfless of Noah alayhi salam? He didn't want anything from his people except for them to listen and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He valued everyone who believed, no matter if they were poor or had a lower status. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam continues, O my people, who will protect me from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if I drove the believers away? Won't you take a moment to think about this? Prophet Noah alayhi salam was trying to show them that he couldn't just abandon the faithful followers, because he had a responsibility to everyone who believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's message. And he goes on to say, I don't tell you that I have the treasures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or that I know the unseen, or that I am an angel, nor do I say of those who are despised in your eyes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never grant them any good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best what is within their soul. If I did that, then I would be among the wrongdoers. Noah alayhi salam was being so humble and honest, reminding his people that he was just a messenger, and that everyone, no matter how they looked or what others thought of them, had the potential to receive Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessing. Isn't that an incredible lesson about equality and fairness? One day, after so many years of trying and trying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to Prophet Nuh alayhi salam that no one else would believe in him. He told him to stop worrying about them because he did all that he could, and they chose the wrong path. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then commanded Nuh alayhi salam to build an ark. An ark is a big ship. Wow! Imagine being asked to build a giant ship. And guess what? Prophet Nuh alayhi salam didn't know anything about building a ship. Even though Prophet Nuh alayhi salam had no idea how to build a ship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided him step by step. His followers worked hard with him to build it. Not near the water, but in the middle of the desert. That was strange, because ships could only sail on water. That made the disbelievers laugh at him even more. They thought it was a crazy idea. Have you ever built something amazing out of Lego or blocks, even if people said it was silly? That's what Prophet Nuh alayhi salam did, but with a real ship. Have you wondered how Prophet Nuh alayhi salam knew it was time to board the ship? It's an amazing story. Imagine you're in the kitchen and suddenly water starts to gush out of your stove. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, that's exactly what happened to Noah alayhi salam. When it was time, water began to gush out of his stove, a sure and miraculous sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the great flood was about to begin. This was the very sign Prophet Nuh alayhi salam was waiting for after the ark was ready. The one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had told him to watch out for. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed Prophet Nuh alayhi salam to gather couples of every species of animal and all the believers and get them on the ship for a bumpy ride. They packed with them all kinds of food they could have for the journey. It was a very special mission, and the believers trusted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's promise of safety. Imagine having to gather different kinds of animals. What animals would you bring on your ark? Think about that. Then it started. Water gushed from the earth, and heavy rain began to fall from the sky. Water started to fill the whole entire earth, going higher and higher. Prophet Nuh called out to his son to come aboard the ark to save him, but his son refused. He preferred to stay with the disbelievers and thought he could go up a high mountain or elsewhere and be safe. But he was wrong. The flood waters rose, covering everything, all the houses and even the mountains. The ark was lifted off the ground and started to flood. It's like when you tell someone to come inside because it's raining, but they think they can stay dry outside. Unfortunately and sadly, Nuh's son drowned. Noah, filled with concern and love for his son, he pleaded to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, "O my Lord, my son is from my family, and your promise is true. You are the most just of judges." Noah was hoping for a way to save his son, who was still out there in this dangerous flood. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded to Noah in a wise and profound way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "O Noah, he is not your family. Indeed, he is one whose work was other than righteous. So do not ask me of that about which you have no knowledge. I advise you to not be among the ignorant." This was a hard lesson for Noah alayhi salam, but it showed that true family in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not just about blood relation, but about faith and righteousness. Even though Noah alayhi salam loved his son deeply, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded him that guidance and safety come through belief and righteous deeds. Isn't that such a powerful reminder, guys? It teaches us that our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and our good actions are what truly define us. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam's story is full of lessons about faith, patience, and understanding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's wisdom. The ark sailed through the water. Do you remember who was on the ark? Yes, it was Nuh alayhi salam, his family, all the believers, and all the animals. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep them all safe. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted this dua. Despite the massive storm, the ark remained safe by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power. After many days, the waters began to recede. The ark finally came to a rest on a mountain named Judy, aka Mount Judy. And all the passengers stepped out on dry land and were ready for a new beginning. A new beginning without corruption and without bad people who always made trouble. They started their new lives happy and grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for saving them. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam and the good people who followed him spread out and began to repopulate the earth. They lived righteous lives and only worshipped one God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nuh alayhi salam continued to guide his people to monotheism until his death, leaving behind a legacy of faith and perseverance. He is remembered for his incredible patience and dedication. And that's the amazing story of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. It's a tale of hard work, faith, relationships, and the importance of following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's guidance. Remember, Prophet Nuh alayhi salam never gave up, and he trusted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completely. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Dana's world. Do you know who the next prophet in the prophet timeline is? It is Prophet Hud alayhi salam. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more incredible stories of the Prophet. See you next time. Salam. But I see that you are acting ignorantly. Ignorantly.
Scene 8, Part 2.
Just right away. It's literally dancing. It's like, and now it's stuck. Look at it. Suwa. No, what is it? What?
Suwa.
What? Suwa. So what? Then W and then A. Suwa.
Good.
Suwa.
Okay, repeat.
Suwa. That's
Good.
So what? Oh.
Okay, that's easy. Suwa.
What? Suwa. Yeah. I don't understand.
Suwa.
What? Suwa.
What? Suwa. يغوث.
يغوث.
أنا خرج فيهم.
يغوث.
يعوق ونسرة.
It says yuck. يعوق.
شو هم نسيت اسمهم؟ Introduction. يلا. Noah.
The story of Noah may have taken place in the ancient Mesopotamian